Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us today. We have been planning this ribbon-cutting event for some time, and we are so glad that the weather, among many other factors, have allowed us to be here together today. My name is Jane Bai, and I lead corporate communications for PTC. PTC has been developing treatments for rare disorders for nearly 25 years and is at the forefront of a new and transformative era of gene therapy. We are committed to the development and manufacturing of gene therapies so that these transformative treatments can get to patients as quickly and as efficiently as possible. We are very lucky to have with us today Debbie Hart, the head of BioNJ, and Debbie has been working alongside New Jersey's biotech industry leaders to support biotech innovation in the state. Debbie was recently named by Governor Murphy to New Jersey's Restart and Recovery Advisory Council and by Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin to the Economy Advisory Council to restart the economy. Debbie has received numerous recognitions, but most recently, Debbie was named one of the world's most 100 influential people in biotechnology by Scientific American Worldview and a Pharma Voice 2021 Red Jacket honoree. But most importantly, Debbie is a longtime friend and supporter of PTC. Please, Debbie.
Thank you so much, Jane. And I must apologize because I'm going to head out as soon as I deliver my remarks. And thank you for putting me up front because we have our first get together with the BioNJ world this afternoon. And anyway, but I could not miss this. I literally could not miss this. So today is a really auspicious day, right? We had the groundbreaking earlier today. We were with a number of our friends and partners here earlier today when the governor broke ground on the hub in New Brunswick. So that was very exciting. And we also, just before I left to come here, we heard that we may have an FDA commissioner. So former Commissioner Rob Califf may come back. We'll see. And then again, this evening, we're having a BioNJ event. And as Jane said, the weather could not be better. But the most important part of my day, frankly, is this right here. This is amazing. So we go back, BioNJ, PTC, we go back literally to the beginning. Stuart and I have been partners in crime on so many levels and so many fronts over so many years. So it's my just distinct honor to be here and also such a pleasure to see how far PTC has come. I mean, for those of you who know the history, and so many of you do, right? Biotech is a roller coaster. Well, and PTC has been one of the most incredible roller coasters over the years, but they have more than arrived. Someone said earlier today they're a real company, and no, they've been a real company right from the beginning. But today they just have a bigger building to prove it, and I could not be more excited and happier. I do feel like PTC is a part of my family, and I couldn't be any happier for them today than if they were. And so congratulations, Stuart, really, truly from the bottom of my heart, and Godspeed with this new exciting venture. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Debbie, and I really do appreciate you fitting in your time into this schedule, and I know you have to run. So, I'm going to introduce our second speaker now, a man who needs no introduction, Dr. Stuart Peltz. Stu founded PTC in 1998 and has served as Chief Executive Officer and a member of the Board of Directors since the company's inception. Under Stu's leadership, PTC has grown from a research organization to a publicly traded global commercial organization with multiple approved products and technology platforms that continues to innovate new treatments for patients with high unmet medical needs. Dr. Peltz is a recognized scientific leader in RNA biology in the area of post-transcriptional control processes involving mRNA turnover and translation, with more than 30 years of research experience and over 100 publications in this area. Stu has received a number of business and scientific awards. Notably, he was elected as a Fellow of the American Academy for the Advancement of Sciences, Pharma Voice's 100 Most Inspiring People, and he also received the Dr. Saul J. Baer Award for Vision, Innovation, and Leadership. Stu, over to you.
Great. Thanks, Jane. Thanks, everyone, for being here today, where we are officially celebrating the opening of PTC's Gene Therapy Manufacturing Center of Excellence. Our company, as you heard, was founded in 1998. I was out of Rutgers University, where I had been a professor there, and it was based on that science where we began this. Our mission at PTC has always been to discover, develop, and commercialize products to treat rare diseases where there's little to no unmet medical need. We've utilized the science that was discovered in the laboratories to search for therapies. Today, we grew from those very few people to be now, as you heard, a global company with over 1,400 employees located in greater than 25 countries. We have 650 employees here in New Jersey. Today, we commercialize 4 products and have royalty revenues from another. 2 of the products were discovered in PTC laboratories and are changing the course of disease for patients suffering from Duchenne muscular dystrophy and spinal muscular atrophy. We've grown from 1 scientific platform to now having over 4. One of those platforms is gene therapy. It's cutting-edge technology, and it has the potential to help many patients. This includes patients with genetic disorders. While gene therapy is still in its infancy, it has a lot of promise. PTC, however, is no stranger to doing things that we've not done before. So you might say that being in the forefront of science and technology is in our DNA. Our most advanced product in gene therapy is to treat patients who have AADC deficiency, which is they lack dopamine. And these patients in the most severe form are completely developmentally arrested. And we've seen in treatments where patients go from flaccid babies to being able to walk. So you can see sort of the promise of such a disease. We decided, however, that we needed to be able to manufacture our gene therapy products ourselves. So we got lucky. We saw that Bristol Myers Squibb, which recently renovated this to be a state-of-the-art biologic facility, to move its biologic manufacturing facility to Massachusetts. So I happened to see a brochure on this, and we sort of jumped right on it and went to this opportunity to make it a PTC facility. And we did just that. So furthermore, most of the BMS employees weren't necessarily keen on moving to Massachusetts. So happily, we were able to attract many of them into becoming PTC employees. We moved into the site in July 2020 this year. As you might expect, opening a site in the middle of a pandemic created challenges over the last year. I'm quite proud of the Hopewell team. They waded through all of the issues as well as all the supply chain challenges. They persevered so that we can now say that we're officially celebrating the opening of our manufacturing facility here in Hopewell, New Jersey. This is our Gene Therapy Manufacturing Center of Excellence. So we've invested now tens of millions of dollars and created 140 jobs with more to come. And we added 220,000 square feet of prime manufacturing and research capacity. The Hopewell facility marks a real milestone in the company's development. Now, you don't build a worldwide company by yourself. It clearly takes a village. We could not do this without the support and collaboration of our partners, the patient advocacy groups, such as the Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy, the Frederick Ataxia Research Alliance, as well as many industry groups, like you saw, BioNJ. We also need the help of government. We thank all of the officials and government representatives who have helped us to grow, like the representatives that we're going to hear today from. I'm proud of PTC and what we've built, and I've always felt that PTC is as much a cause as it is a company, and I know that our employees feel the same way. We've grown up and worked in rare diseases in the rare disease world. In this world, it's all about the patients. bringing treatments that have the potential to change the patient's lives, treatments that are made with the same passion that we all bring to everything we do. We're happy to share this moment with you. It's an exciting day, and we're very pleased to be able to commemorate all of this with everyone here today. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks very much, Stu. I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Kyle Bryant, a great friend and partner to PTC. Kyle is an athlete, a speaker, and the spokesperson for the Friedreich Ataxia Research Alliance. He is the founder and event director of Ride Ataxia, a nationwide bike ride fundraiser benefiting FARA. In December 2011, Kyle launched the bi-weekly Two Disabled Dudes podcast, highly recommended, with his teammate and fellow FA patient, Sean Baumstark. Kyle wrote an autobiography in 2019 called Shifting into High Gear. Kyle?
When I was young, I drifted. That's all right. All right. I drifted along like all happy kids, and I was genuinely happy. I had a loving family, lots of friends, and plenty of sports and activities to keep me busy. It seemed like nothing was standing in the way of my perfect low-key life. Braced through school, low stress work, retirement at age 65, 72, something like that, right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I had no extraordinary plans, no reason to push myself. Then I hit a roadblock. At age 17, I was diagnosed with Friedreich's ataxia. Friedreich's ataxia? What the heck is that? I could hardly pronounce it, let alone know what it was going to mean for me and my family for the rest of our lives. Over the next few years, my family and I found out that Friedreich's ataxia is a rare neuromuscular disease that affects all muscle coordination, from the toes to the fingertips. We found out that it would only be a matter of time before I'm in a wheelchair. It would only be a matter of time before I lose all ability to take care of myself. And it would only be a matter of time before my heart fails and I suffer a premature death. I don't know about you, but in my book, it's kind of a bummer. To make matters worse, there's no treatment, no cure, and at that time, very little hope. And I was 17. 17 is the pinnacle of optimism. Your whole life is in front of you. How many people here have been 17 before, right? Your whole life is in front of you, and I found out that it was nothing but downhill from there on out. So I lived with those facts for a few years. I graduated high school. I went to college at UC Davis in California, where I lived at the time. I got a degree in civil engineering, and I got a good job in an engineering firm in Sacramento, where I lived at the time. All the while, I was losing the ability to perform in sports I love. Sports like baseball, basketball, golf, and skiing. When it came time for me to give up my upright bicycle, I put my foot down. I said, that's enough. That's enough of losing all these sports and activities that mean so much to me. And I started riding. And I found a way to keep riding. I found a recumbent tricycle. And my first thought was, tricycle? It's kind of lame. Tricycles are for clowns and little kids. But as I was rolling around the parking lot, when I finally took a test ride, I fell in love with the freedom that came with this new machine. It was a freedom I hadn't felt in years. I started riding. My first ride was 7 miles. 7 miles, I was so proud of myself, I had no idea I had that in me. I had no idea anyone had ever ridden 7 miles on a bike before. My next ride was 14 miles, then 25, then 50. Then only 4 months after my very first ride, I went for a century ride. 100 miles in a day. What was I thinking? Well, I was up against this roadblock, this situation that life had thrown my way, and this was my opportunity to react. So I was the last one on the road that day. All the other riders had finished their ride and were driving home by the time I crossed the finish line. But I'd done it. 100 miles in a day. Are you kidding me? I can't even walk down the street and I just rode 100 miles in a day. From then on, the sky was the limit. I started thinking huge. I decided that I wanted to ride my trike to a national meeting of people with ataxia, people just like me. So that year, the meeting was in Memphis, Tennessee. And as I said, at that time, I lived in California. What a crazy idea. But once again, I was up against this roadblock. The situation in life had thrown my way, and this was my opportunity to react. So on January 22nd, 2007, my dad and I left from San Diego, California. We were going to ride our bikes to Memphis, Tennessee. 2,500 miles, and 59 days later, we rode by Graceland. We rode our bikes to Elvis's house. Talk about all shook up. Oh, man. We couldn't believe what we'd done. And over the next couple of years, my family and I, and my parents are here with us today, right here, Mike and Diane Bryant. And we made several more journeys. We rode from Sacramento, California to Las Vegas, Nevada. And we rode from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. In those 3 rides, we raised a total of $460,000 for FA research. And yeah, thank you. In 2009, I came on staff at the Friedrich's Ataxia Research Alliance, and we built a nationwide series of bike rides that raises awareness and funds for FA research. Excuse me. This year, the Ride Ataxia program raised its 10 millionth dollar. The FA community is made up of individuals and families with stories just like mine. People raising money and awareness to treat Friedrich's ataxia. And I have friends in the greater rare disease community that have stories just like mine too. At FARA, our bread and butter is a grant to an academic researcher who gets some results in the lab and then passes it off to a development partner who can take the treatment forward, take the idea forward, and make it into a drug. As advocates, we can raise all the money and awareness we want, but it only makes real progress if we have incredible partners like PTC with state-of-the-art facilities like this one who can take the treatment forward and make it into a drug for me and thousands of other people. This facility will make drugs that do amazing things. But one of the most amazing things that it will make is a hope for a better future for many people. That's a pretty powerful thing to manufacture. So for those of you here at PTC, please remember this. When your day feels long and challenging, there is nothing more important you could be doing with your life than creating treatments for people with rare diseases. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Kyle. And truly, at PTC, we are so inspired and honored that you were able to join us today. And it really helps us drive us even faster forward to make sure that we're continuing to develop treatments for patients. My next speaker is Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman. She has served as the U.S. representative for New Jersey's 12th Congressional District since 2015. Congresswoman Watson Coleman has a long career in public service advocating for the needs of New Jersey families and the equitable treatment of all people. Prior to her election to the House of Representatives, Congresswoman Watson Coleman served 8 consecutive terms in the New Jersey General Assembly and shattered racial and gender barriers to become the first Black woman to serve as majority leader and as the chair of the New Jersey Democratic State Committee. We are excited to be located in and bringing jobs to Congresswoman Watson Coleman's district.
Thank you. So I looked at the agenda to see who was coming after Kyle. Kyle, you inspired me so much. God blessed me today by making sure that I was in your company. Thank you. And thank you to your parents. And thank you to you, Dr. Peltz, and to everyone here who represents any part of this company. You know, I represent the 12th Congressional District, and part of my district is, considered the medicine chest or whatever of this country. We're very fortunate because we have a lot of innovation here, a lot of biopharmaceutical, a lot of pharmaceutical, and what's happening down in Washington. We've got to stand up for the work, the life-saving work that this industry and these industries do. I'm an appropriator. I'm on Appropriations Committee as well as Homeland Security. And it's important for me to hear Kyle's story, to hear the CEO's story about real life experience, what this means, how transformative it can be if we put the resources where they need to be. And I know New Jersey is like one of the smartest states in the whole nation. We've got some of the most talented and innovative and scientists and producers and manufacturers and everything else. And we've got smart government in the state of New Jersey behind it. And we have smart government right now in Washington, D.C. behind it. And I am telling you that as long as God gives me breath, I will stand up for this industry and the work that you do, because I know that not only are New Jerseyans and people in the United States of America beneficiaries of what you do touches the world. And for you particularly, you have chosen to take on some of the most difficult challenge that any scientist, anybody could ever take on. You seek to help those who wouldn't have a quality of life, let alone length of life. And to have that in my district and to be able to say that I represent you and you, Kyle, even though you live in LA, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, wherever it is, I represent you. So I am very proud that you have brought this effort here, that you are using this facility here, and that this facility is in the 12th Congressional District. And so when I stand up here and talk to you from the federal perspective, and I look at Anthony Varelli, who works in the state legislature, and I look at Kirsten, who's going to be on the county level, well, all I can say is that you've got incredibly deep partnerships. And we want you to call upon us and to use us and to give us a heads up, Dean, when we need to be having our breakfasts so we can find out what it is that we should be fighting for at that moment. Because I stand together with you and for you. God bless you in the work that you do. God bless you in all that you've done and will do in life. And God bless you all. And thank you for allowing me to be here today.
Thank you very much, Congresswoman. Our next speaker, Tim Sullivan, has served as the Chief Executive Officer of the New Jersey Economic Development Authority since 2018. During his tenure, Tim has led the NJEDA's transformation into a comprehensive economic development organization dedicated to implementing Governor Phil Murphy's vision for a stronger and fairer New Jersey. Sullivan.
Thank you for the very kind introduction. It's great to be here. On behalf of Governor Phil Murphy, congratulations. What a great day. Kyle, I don't know where to begin. I should echo the Congresswoman's being in awe of you and your story and your parents. What an amazing thing. What a reminder of why this industry and why this effort is so important. Yes, it creates a lot of jobs. My job is to help create jobs, which is great. We're in favor of that. In the case that anyone was curious, we're in favor of more jobs, not less. All that. That's great. So thank you for all that. But when we think about the pharmaceutical industry, the life sciences industry, the biotech, the biopharma industry, cell and gene manufacturing, the impact it has on human beings' lives and the ability to save lives and change lives is transformative in a way that virtually nothing else that we can do is. And so what a reminder of why this is so important and so many reasons. In so many dimensions. Dr. Peltz, congratulations to you. Thank you for the decision to make this investment here in New Jersey. We're thrilled to have you. I'm around the corner. I'm a constituent of the Congresswoman and the Assemblyman. So this is right in my home turf. Appreciate your choosing to make this investment right here in New Jersey. It's really it's an important and it's a banner day for New Jersey. I want to make a couple of things to tie this project into some broader themes. I think it's really important to highlight. Debbie mentioned earlier today that Kathleen Coviello, my great colleague, is here with me from the EDA, Dean and Haskell, Debbie, a number of us were together with Governor Murphy up at Rutgers. I'm glad you mentioned Rutgers earlier. We're up in New Brunswick to break ground on the Innovation Hub in New Brunswick, which is a really important project that Rutgers has announced they're going to build a new translational research facility. They're going to move the med school or some of the med school downtown to begin to to begin the journey of many more opportunities to take things from academic medical research and turn them into commercializable products and therapies that'll save lives, that'll create jobs, that'll help seed new enterprises. And that's what we were just doing a couple hours ago. And then to be here today to see the fruits of that kind of activity, we need to see so much more of that. We really, in New Jersey under Governor Murphy's leadership, are really focused on how we can recapture our unquestioned leadership position in not just pharmaceuticals and life sciences, but all throughout innovation and the entrepreneurship part of our economy. Because this project is a reminder of another lesson. Great big companies like Bristol Myers are going to make decisions that sometimes we don't love those decisions when they choose to maybe not use the real estate that they had been using previously. That's not our favorite. That's not like something you put up a tent and have a party for. But we want to see more, growth-oriented companies that are going to come in and fill those spaces, because these corporate campuses, like Bristol's campus here and other campuses around the state, they're not going to be filled likely by one monoline user. They're going to be folks who take building here, building there, refill them, which brings more vibrancy, more dynamism, more activity, more jobs. And so we're excited to see this kind of investment here. We're also really excited about New Jersey's increasing leadership in cell and gene therapy manufacturing. We think that we've got an opportunity here to continue our leadership. The Congresswoman, who's one of my heroes, mentioned our leadership position in pharma globally. The next frontier, we think, is cell and gene manufacturing. Kathleen and her team are working. We're about to put a proposal into the federal US EDA around cell and gene manufacturing for New Jersey. Make a $100 million grant application. Congresswoman, we could use your help in getting that. No pressure or nothing. Yeah, it's statewide. We'll see if we get the money, we'll figure out where it goes. But we think New Jersey's got a real chance to continue to leverage our leadership position and continue to grow and create more jobs, more therapies, more innovations and interventions that will improve the lives of patients and create lots of jobs here in New Jersey. The last thing I'll mention is that this is especially sweet for Kathleen and for our team. We've been partners with and helpful in the early days when PTC was young and in its infancy through things like our NOL program, which is part of a suite of entrepreneurship and innovation tools that the Governor Murphy has built and expanded on, because again, we want to create lots more PTCs. We want to see lots more companies that go from 1 or 2 people and an idea that may or may not work, and take that innovation leap and take that R&D risk and take that next step to create more new companies that are going to grow and thrive. And the program that one of the programs that PTC has been a part of is a great example of that. It's an early stage investment. Companies that at the time have fewer than 10 employees are going to grow and then employ 1,000 people and build new manufacturing facilities, and all those good things happen from those early stage investments. And that's one of the reasons Governor Murphy is so committed to strengthening our tools to support early stage life science and other innovation and technology companies that are going to grow and be the next generation of great New Jersey success stories, just like PTC is commemorating today. So, Dr. Peltz, congratulations. Thank you for being here, letting me be here. Congresswoman, an honor always to be here with you. Assemblyman, thank you so much for all that you both do to fight for me and my family in Congress and in the State House. We appreciate it. It's an honor to be with you.
Our last speaker today is Dr. Neil Olmsted. Neil has served in several executive positions since joining PTC in 2000 and currently oversees manufacturing and supply chain for the small molecule and gene therapy programs. Previously, he was a project manager at Procter & Gamble. Neil has co-authored more than 75 publications in the areas of genetic disorders, oncology, and inflammatory diseases. Neil?
Thank you, everyone. This is really a momentous day for all of us at PTC. And I can tell you, about 3 years ago, Stu and I were talking about this facility. And I was really excited about the facility. And Stu probably knows why, because I live in Princeton. And I'm thinking, I don't really like that 45-minute commute to South Plainfield. Nothing wrong with South Plainfield, but this is so much closer. And so I was thinking, how can I convince Stu that we must have a facility in the Hopewell Township? And, fortunately, we made the decision. It's really an exciting facility for all of us. And it's been amazing what's transformed in the past 3 years, going from an idea really to have our own manufacturing facility. And then finally to see the fruition of that, where we're starting our GMP manufacturing for our first clinical trials that we're going to run with a product that's made right here in Hopewell. And we hope to do that, I would say, sometime mid to late next year. It takes a little bit of time to manufacture the product, I should say. But once that's done, we will get into the clinic, and we're very excited about that. We're also obviously going to be working on Friedreich's ataxia, and we're going to be looking forward to manufacturing that product in this facility as well. And so I think you know that as well. So it's very hard to follow Kyle on this talk, because I really it was it's something that all of us, I think, understand is how important what we're doing is. And I think, I want you to understand, all of us in science, all of us in the manufacturing team absolutely understand everything we're doing is for the patients. And we're trying our best to do it as quickly as possible to get these therapies to patients as rapidly as we can. I would like to thank all the attendees here. I'd like to thank, I'm the last person, so I don't want to take too long, but I do want to thank, obviously Kyle and Debbie Hart, Congressman Bonnie Watson Coleman, Tim Sullivan, and of course our CEO Stu Peltz for both attending this as well for Stu to really providing the money and the oversight of what we're trying to achieve here. And it's so critical for I think the manufacturing team to have our own control of our gene therapy manufacturing. Without that control, without the ability to do your own manufacturing, you're really reliant on other companies. And I'd love to say that every other company does a great job, but I think we can do it better. And certainly it's nice to be able to do it locally here as well and have the control and to have the facility nearby. And so we're super excited about everything we're doing. I don't want to take a very long time, but I want to thank everyone for all their time here. And we really look forward to moving forward with this endeavor that we have. And I would say in another year or two, come back, you're going to see a lot more people. We're going to have some of our products in the clinic, and we're going to be moving those products forward, hopefully to commercialization and to Eric's team as well. So thank you all for attending. Please, if you are staying a little bit, we'll certainly have a discussion. We have our ribbon cutting right after this, and have a safe drive home for everybody as well.
We have one more person that we'd love to hear from today, Julie Blake, who's the mayor of Hopewell, and we're so excited that you were able to join us.
Thank you very much. Hi, I was listening to what everyone was saying, and I want to just, of course, welcome you and thank you so much for choosing Hopewell Township as your home, because we really are happy to have you here. I also want to let you know what I heard today was a few words that I recognize DNA or mRNA, but what I really heard was that you manufacture hope. And as a school counselor with 220 17-year-olds, Kyle, I know what you and your parents are looking for, which is hope, which is what everybody looks for. So we are welcoming you to Hopewell. And thank you very much, and welcome all of you. So thanks so much. Thanks.
So we'd love to invite you to our ribbon cutting ceremony, our official ceremony off to the side, and then for some wonderful cupcakes. And thank you so much all for joining us here today to really celebrate this event. It's really meant a lot. Thank you.